Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? I am on the way up to the dealership with the little Zeta. Now, I did actually want to take both of the Zetas up to the dealership, however, we do have a slight problem with that. So, since you've seen me last, I have sown all of the crops that we need to sow. So we've got corn in all of our fields, except for the one field where we're going to have sugar beet, and I've put sugar beet into that field. I've spread slurry on some of the fields, and I haven't been able to spread slurry on all of the fields, but I have spread it on some of the fields. Then what I did was, now if I just show you here a minute, I have got, hang on, there we go. I've got the bigger Zeta going at the moment with the weeder, and that is working on those two fields there, and then I will work my way through all of the crops, because we're on the first growth stage. However, I don't know how long it's going to take for it to move on to the second growth stage, because it was the middle of the night when it changed over. So I'm not quite sure on that one. I have gone round the map, and I have fertilized just about every single field that we have on the entire map, doing a whole load of different jobs, so that I could earn the money. If you have a look up in the top right-hand corner, you will see we now have 123,000 euros, and that's not all we're going to get. What I also have is a slight problem with the finances here. If you have a look, the Proxima Power, which is the little one, that is costing us 676 euros per day, which is a fortune. The Combine is costing us 930 euros a day, which we'd kind of expect. None of the others are particularly expensive. We've got a few, like 150 or something like that. Crumbs, the Lely Junos are 150 each. That's not actually that good. But anyway, we do get some of that offset slightly. And then you've got a few others. The Kirovitz is at 500 euros, but that's kind of worth it because of the amount of power that we get. But then if you have a look all the way down here, the other Zeta is 716 euros. So the two Zetas are the most expensive ones. However, that Zeta there is the only tractor we currently have that can have care wheels, so it's the only one that we can use the weeder on. Now, I did think we would get rid of that one. We'd buy a new tractor. However, the only issue with that is that we would still only have one tractor that can take care wheels. I don't want to have just one tractor with care wheels. I'd like to have two. So for now, we're going to keep the other Zeta, and we're going to sell this one for all of 10,600 euros. Not very much, but it's still an extra little bit. Before I go any further, just very quickly, actually no, I will buy the tractor first. We do have available on here, we go to finances, the loan has been increased. Now, we're allowed to take up to 300,000 euros. So I'm going to take everything that we can get, all the way up to 300,000 and back out of there, and then I run in here and we will buy that tractor, the one that I've asked to vote on ages ago, and you all ended up voting for. What did I offer you in the end? I think I offered, it was these four tractors here, wasn't it? And the Massey Ferguson is the one that came out on top. So we select that one. I will go for standard wheels, and I won't have a front loader attachment because we've already got that. I was talking about getting the bigger engine. We've got 15,030, so we've got two engine options to increase it from 210 up to 240, and then again up to 280. That's 35,000 euros. I'm not going to do that just yet, because it's not going to leave us enough money for the other things that we need to get. So we're just going to go for the standard tractor, 172,000 euros. So I'll buy that one. Yes. Okay, so that leaves us with 60,000 euros. The question that I asked you all last week was, which mower did you want me to get to go with the Lely Splendimo? Now, I got the... Oh, don't worry, I can't read my own writing here. So, yeah, I've got the Lely Splendimo here, and I asked you if you wanted me to get this Pottinger here, this New Holland here, the Lely mowers to go with that one there, the Kuhn mower or the Class mower. Now, the first day of answering the questions, everybody said that they wanted the Kuhn mower, the GMD. I had a total of 2,500 people answer this question, 2,551. 550 of you on day one said that one, and 194 said that one. But then on the following 2 days, 561 said that one, and then another 595 said that one, and that one was 177, 187. So it started out looking like it was going to be the Kuhn, but it's ended up being the Lely, because the Lely has had 1,350 votes, this one's had 914 votes, And then the Claas had 173, the New Holland had 67, and the Pottinger had 47. So, yes, in the end, it did turn out that it was this one here. Which is kind of good and kind of bad, because that's 49,000 euros, whereas that one's only 16,000 euros. And I was really hoping that would win, because then we'd have enough money. And now we're not going to have enough money. But that's the one you said you wanted, so that's the one that we've got to buy. And I do generally have the rule that we can't lease anything on this map. So we're going to have to sort of struggle through. I'm going to have to do a little bit more work before the next episode. I got the weight over there, so if I just get this tractor, we can get that mower on the back and take it back to the yard. Let's take a look at our new Massey Ferguson in a minute. The 7719 Dyna 6. Look at that beast of a machine. Oh, that is fantastic. That does look very cool. Let's have a look inside. And standard controls there for gears and so on. It's got a shuttle lever on that side there. If you see just underneath the steering wheel, it's a shuttle lever for forward and back. And then other standard controls, lights, and oh yeah, the light panel up the top there. You've got air conditioning, climate control, etc. inside the cab, and your other standard controls. And a passenger seat, and not to mention we've got two cup holders back there. We've got more cup holders? Two cup holders. Two cup holders isn't too bad, actually. And then we've got a cabinet up there, which I'm assuming would be a refrigerated one, so you can put your lunchbox in it. Excellent. I like this tractor already. So we've got these huge, great big mowers, which is, it's good and it's bad. It's good in that we are going to be able to cover ground a lot more quickly with the set of mowers, but it's bad in that we can't afford to get everything else that I was hoping to get this week, some of which is going to cost us a little bit of money. So I'm going to have to look at that. I'm either going to have to do, I better put my beacons on, I'm either going to have to do some extra work between this episode and the next episode, or I'm going to have to lease a little bit of equipment for the rest of this week and then buy it next week. I know I said I'd do that last week with the quad bike, and I've still got the quad bike. I've still been running around with it, but that is still on hire and I haven't bought it yet. And a few of you did point out I promised not to lease anything on this map, so we're kind of in a little bit of a bind with it at the moment. And like I explained in the comment section with leasing the quad bike, it's because of the transition period at the moment. We're expanding our pigs rapidly, so we've got no surplus cash. And that's the big issue that we've really got, is that we just don't have spare cash. Now, I'm just going to get ready for a quick run up to the pigs, because we've got to head up there. I can't lower... Oh, no, I want to go to the back. I can't lower that down without them folding, so I just have to... It's one thing I don't like about this, is you've got to basically just drop them like that. And I don't like having to do that, but anyway... I'm going to get a few things ready for a run up to the pigs, and there's our cura bits. I need to wash that one off, and then when I've got stuff ready for a run up to the pigs, I will, actually I'll meet you up there. I've got to run this one up, and I've got to take the Kramer up as well, and we've got to just top them up before we can sort of get going on our next major task. Just very quickly, before I go and start getting ready to do the pigs, my question for this week. We are going to be making silage, and we're starting this week. I'm going to get the mowers going. We've got a rake, and the other thing that I need money for is to be able to pick the stuff up, because I'm not using the Pottinger forage wagon. I've got a different technique that I'm going to be using this time to pick them up. But basically, once everything is made into silage and it's over at the biogas plant, are you going to want me to use a front loader? Because we've got the Kramer, I can get a bigger bucket. I'm going to try and find a modded bucket that's a little bit bigger than 1,800 litres. We got this one here, which is 2,500. And I can look around for another even bigger one. I don't know if a manure fork will carry silage. I think it does. Silage, yeah. So we've got some options to get a bigger fork. So do you want me to use a bucket on the Kramer to spoon the silage from the biogas plant and into the bin in order to do it like that? Or do you want me to use conveyor belts And here we buy a few conveyor belts. We have to get that one, we have to get that one, and then a couple of these to go in between. Do you want me to use that setup and pour it in like that? So it's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote. It's up in the top right hand corner. Front loader bucket, or well, front loader something. Use a front loader or use conveyor belts. I'm going to finish just doing this, and the hide helper's being a little bit weird down this outside edge, and I will move this one over to the next field, and then, like I said, I'll meet you up at the pigs. Right, we'll put in some food and water for the pigs. And if you take a look at the pigs, we've now got 197 of them, but straw and water and so on, they're starting to get low. We've used up all of the corn that we've got in storage. Basically, we are starting to get a little desperate. We've got plenty of corn on its way. I've got a trailer load of barley, but we don't have a lot of that left. We do have a reasonable amount of protein food at the moment, so I think our main next crop, well, it'll be split between corn and wheat or barley, one or the other, so that we can top this back up again. But, I mean, at 197 pigs, I think what we're going to have to do is sell, well, once they get over 200, we'll sell a load of pigs, and so that the money can go towards buying them some more food, and then we can let it increase again. It's not easy at the moment to sort of keep up with the demand. Because we don't have a huge amount of land, it's going to be very, very difficult. I mean, and this is what people said right from the start. It's going to be extremely difficult to be able to feed all of the pigs properly with the small amount of land that we got. And we knew this, and we knew that we would end up having to buy them some extra food, which isn't great. One thing I did forget to do on the way up here was just stop and fill up the Joskin water trailer, so I'll tip in what we do have, and actually that will probably be enough to just sort of tide us over for a little while. I'll get more another time. We've used up most of the straw that we've got lying around here for the pigs as well. So yeah, we're getting a little bit desperate with the pigs. We're going to have to start buying food for them very soon, I think, and that's not an ideal situation to be in. Right, so we've got water, we've got corn. Wheat and barley is doing all right now. That will keep them going for another couple of days, but obviously the numbers are increasing. It's going to double what it is at the moment, and that's not going to be very useful. So I've been having a little think. I've got plans. I'm going to do mowing, and we will get started on the mowing shortly. But what I'd like you to do is, most of this episode is already gone, or we're about halfway through and we haven't started the mowing yet. I will get going on the mowing. I just wanted to come up and we'll do a little bit with this, and we'll make a start on doing the mowing. But we'll mostly be doing our mowing tomorrow. So what I'd like you to do today is just head into the comments section. And I know that you have said previously that you're okay with me leasing a machine if it's a one-off use. If we're not going to use it again, it doesn't make sense to buy it. It would be better to lease it. So with that in mind, I have a forager, this one here. It's a trailed forager, exactly like the one that I used to use years ago when I was working on a farm and we did a lot of silage. We used one of these. And you basically, this one goes along, it has a trailer on behind, and it picks up the swath of grass that has been cut and dumps it into the trailer, and it actually comes out as grass and not as chaff. So we could, in theory, we could sell the Pottinger forage wagon that we've got and just have a trailer and sort of use this setup, but I don't think that would be very economical. I think we should keep the trailer, the forage wagon that we've got. Get this one, and this one we need to use with a, we need a bigger trailer. And so we could lease this one for just €1,200, use it for the harvest, and then return it. And also, what I thought that we could then do is, if we go to, it's in tippers here, we could either buy a bigger trailer. We could buy something like that one. It's a 32,000 litre trailer. That one's only 28. This one's a bit too big. I don't think our tractor could tow it. So yeah, we could get something like that, some huge great big thing, but we've got the IT runner, haven't we? And so there are these two here. We don't want the skip, that's only 18,000 litres. That one's 48 and that one's 45. Ideally I'd like to buy these That's the grain container, but it can be used for silage as well. This one here is also quite good, and I thought it would be really cool if someone suggested in the comment section that we could make real good use of the IT runner and get a whole load of modules to go with it. I'm sort of thinking that would be how we'll evolve this series, because when we move on to another map, it'd be kind of moving on from Sosnovka, so we'll take money and stuff with us, so we'll be able to do it. But what would you think of me leasing this one just for this silage harvest that we're going to do? And I would only be able to lease the one. I'm not quite sure how I would do it yet, but I'm thinking that we'll just lease one and we'll run back and forth, rather than trying to do 2 lots all at once, because we're not going to be using course place. So that's my suggestion, is that we will lease that one there, the Bergman HT50, and that's a 48,000 litre trailer, and then we can use that on the IT runner, and we'll also lease that John Deere forager that we've got. So what are your thoughts on that? We'd end up doing that. Possibly we wouldn't actually get to starting the silage until next week. So I want to hear your thoughts on it. Head into the comments section and let us know what you think about all of that. I am now going to just tip in some straw. I'll probably use up all of the rest of the straw that we've got here for the pigs. And then we're going to have to worry about getting them more bedding later on as well. So we're going to have to be looking at getting a baler. And also, while you're in the comment section telling me what you think of me leasing that machinery as a one-off this time, what do you think of me continually doing jobs off-screen, contracting jobs, so that I can earn a whole load of extra money? I've been doing loads and loads of them, and I am earning big piles of money, but I didn't know what you thought of the idea of me turning up at the beginning of each week with another 100 or 200,000 euros. Is that acceptable? Do you think that I should sort of slow it down a little bit? Am I earning too much money? Or are you quite happy with this because it sort of keeps the pace of the series running? We are able to get new things. And I will just show you, just in case you are doubting, I am actually doing missions. See? I'm not just cheating. I'm not just sort of modifying the game file and adding an extra 100,000 here and there. 169 missions now completed. Okay, I have done 169 missions, and that is a large part of what has contributed to my 66 hours played on this map. So I am doing missions. I'm doing lots and lots of missions for you. Right, I will finish doing the pigs here, and I'll quickly show you the numbers when I finished. I will meet you back at the main yard where we can hitch on all of the mowers for the new Massey Ferguson, and we can make a start on doing some mowing. We'll do a little bit today. We won't get very much done today because we've been sort of having to tidy up with odd jobs. We got all these things that we need to keep moving. And tomorrow we'll mostly be doing mowing. We've got a lot of different areas that I'd like to get done with the mowing so that we can have a decent silage harvest and get a good amount of money from it as well. I'm just coming back to the yard. I've actually left the Kirovitz, not the Kirovitz, the Kramer. I've actually left that one up the other end for now. I will bring that one back later. I'd like to get a move on and get started with the mowing. And there's also something else I wanted to show you. Well, the Zeta is going in that field over there, so we'll have to move that one up the top fairly soon. Let me just swap. There we go. Right, now if I just switch this one off. Now you listen when I start this one up. This thing sounds incredible. It's just, I don't know, whether it's an extra bit of bass that I've got in my speaker or something, but this thing just sounds powerful. It's just got a feeling of power about it. I'm really, really impressed with this tractor. I absolutely love it. It is fantastic, and I'm starting to wonder, why didn't I buy this one before? Because this is awesome. So let's go back onto here. We'll get our mowers on. I know that I have left machinery everywhere and it's really untidy. I've got stuff to clean, I've got things that I need to put away. It's very untidy and I apologise, but I would like to at least get a little bit of mowing done today, just to make a start on it. And then tomorrow we're going to be doing a lot more mowing. I will also tomorrow do a couple of the other little jobs and we'll clean a few things up so that we can sort of keep things moving. So let's just pick this one up. I guess it's a good job that we do have the new tractor now, because yeah, these mowers require a fair bit of power. Is that front mower actually folded? No. I did wonder about that. So let's just come out here. It's all good. Straight across here, so we won't worry about our beacons. I'm going to go up to our first patch of grass that we're going to mow, and we'll make a start on that. The other thing that I like about this tractor is that it's fast. We've got one that does 53 kilometers an hour. That is absolutely brilliant. Because so far, the Zeta, the bigger Zeta, has been the fastest machine that we've had. And it's not that fast on the road, especially, and then for doing things like selling the pigs when we towing them around, it's not very good, is it? So we get these out, and I'll start them up. And if you look under there, you can see them spinning. We don't want to get too close. We'll take our head off if we do that. So let me just stop that one. It takes a while to slow down and speed up and everything. It's really good. If you look at that, you can see the knives on the front. Just look at them spinning. I love the animation that they've got on this. Is attention to detail. That's what this is. It's absolute attention to detail. So let's have a look at the front. And there we go. I'll do this, and we're going to now start up completely inside the mower. This is probably not the safest thing that you could ever do. Okay, so get that one going like that, and before I actually start mowing, I'm going to get that Zeta and I'm going to move it up there because we're on a very tight schedule as far as the weeding is concerned, and if I leave it too long, it's going to go to the next growth stage and we'll miss our chance to weed those. We've weeded those 3 now. Soil composition, you can see I managed to spray a little bit of extra slurry there, but we didn't really have a lot. So that one, those have had 2 each. That's had mostly 1 application. That one will end up with 3, and that one will end up with 2. I hope, if we get there in time. Yep, and we're back down to 43 kilometers an hour with this one. Let me just come in here and get this started. So we've got our sugar beet all planted here, ready for when we can harvest it. I'm going to just run with this one up along here. Actually, you should be okay. You should get right up to the very far end, I hope, without having to turn round. But sometimes the hired help does weird things. And it's also quite interesting to sort of see how they behave on the steep slopes and everything. Because sometimes, like this one, it should be bending up a little bit more. It's digging right into the ground over on this side. Generally speaking, though, it's doing okay. And now, I suppose really what we'd want to do is test it for... Let me just stop the hired help a second. What I want to do is I want to find out what it's like when it's sort of right in that dip with the weeder. Let's just bring it over here like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set it down so that we can see how it behaves. Well, it does sort of bend up a little bit, doesn't it? A little. Not a huge amount. Right, I'll... get this one going again, and then we'll go back over there to our mowers and just do once or twice around the outside, and then say fare thee well. Tomorrow is going to be our mowing day. We got a lot of ground to cover with our mowers. Right, now if I press Control V, it should lower both of them down. There we go, one after the other. That's left Control and V, and we're away. And oh, this thing is fantastic. There's no slowing down or anything. I mean, we had just, it was a small side-mounted Pottinger mower last time we cut this, and a front-mounted mower. I think it was even this Lely, wasn't it? I can't remember now. It might have been the front-mounted Pottinger one. I don't remember. But yeah, it didn't like it at all. We couldn't even go up the hill. It slowed right down to just a couple miles an hour. This one... a couple kilometers an hour, I should say. This one's not even breaking a sweat, and we haven't got the upgrades at all. We haven't got any engine upgrades on this one yet. Just beating along, absolutely fantastic. And these Lely mowers, they do look good. I haven't actually used these yet. This is the first time that I've used the butterfly ones on the back. Obviously, we've used the front one quite a bit, but this is the first time I've used them, and I must say I'm quite pleased with them. They do seem to be doing a very neat and tidy job of mowing. Complement each other well. Come out round the edge like that. So we won't need to do any tedding on this. All we will do is go round with the rake afterwards. We could use the rake on follow me, but it's hang on. There we go. That was my timer to say that I have just about run out of time. We could use the rake on follow me to go around behind here, except that the rake would go slower than the tractor, and also it takes a much wider cut. Now, I've had people suggesting that I put the mowers together. I get the Pottinger ones and I put the mowers together in order to use, you know how you sort of join them together and you would use them on the reverse drive, but I've had people suggesting that I shouldn't do that on reverse drive. I just stick them on the front of the tractor. And there's a very specific reason that I haven't done that. Front linkage is much weaker in construction than rear linkage. You can put a lot more weight on the back of the tractor than you can on the front of a tractor. That not necessarily 100% across the board, but generally you'll have stronger links on the front of the tractor than you do on the rear of a tractor. Sorry, the other way around. Stronger on the back compared to the front. And I have looked for this extensively. I have never seen an example in real life of people using those mowers in such a fashion mounted on the front of a tractor. I do not think it is a realistic setup. I think it would damage the front links on the tractor. Now, I'm not saying that that is completely universal. There may be some makes of tractor where the front links are as strong as the back links, but I don't believe it to be the case generally. And that is why you wouldn't see them on the front like that. And not only that, the tremendous weight of all those mowers, the reason that they put them on the back of the tractor is because of the steering mechanism and how the wheels are set up. The back axle is a solid axle, or it'll be on suspension, but it's designed to hold the weight. The front axle is not designed to hold that massive amount of weight. The front axle needs to be able to turn, and if you've got all that weight of those mowers on the front axle, it's going to do some serious damage to your tractor. So that is why I'm not going to do it in the game. And yes, it's a great idea to put all the mowers on the front and then stick the rake on the back of the tractor and do a single pass operation. Fantastic idea, but completely unrealistic, and that's why I won't be doing it. But that being said, there is one thing that I have seen, and I've seen it a number of times, and that is a small rake that goes on the front of the tractor. Now, unfortunately, in the game at the moment, I have not seen any such rake. So I'm going to have to wait until I find a modded one. But there's a small rake that goes on the front of the tractor and is able to go along in front of you. So it's a rigid one and it's not steered. And then once the small rake is in place, you're going along and you have a baler on the back. So when you've made hay or even just grass like this, you run along with a rake in front and a baler on the back, and that you can do in a single pass. I've seen that quite a number of times, but like I said, I have never seen or heard of anyone putting 3 mowers on the front of a tractor and a rake on the back, and that's why I won't be doing it. Anyway, I have run out of time for today, so I am going to... I'm not even going to finish this field. We will carry on with this bit tomorrow. And I will also then start mowing some of the land that we're going to do over there. There's a field down the bottom, and there's bits all over the place over there. So tomorrow is going to be a big mowing day. My question for this week, I am making silage. And we probably won't actually get to make all of our silage until next week. But anyway... once the silage is made and it's in the clamps out the biogas plant, how do you want me to get it into the digester, the anaerobic digester? Do you want me to use our Kramer that we've got with a bucket? I'll get a bigger bucket than the one we've got. I'll figure out a way to do it so that we've got a bigger bucket. I don't know how much bigger. I don't want to go completely unrealistic, but I reckon we could go up to a 5-ton bucket at least. And I'll use that to spoon the silage in. Or would you like me to get a few conveyor belts and build a link of conveyor belts, and we'll sort of just put it in like that using the belts, so that we don't have to just keep driving backwards and forwards spooning the stuff into the digester. We can just set the belts up and let them run. It's your vote, it's your game. Head in the comment section down below, let us know which one you're voting for and why. And of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote up in the top right hand corner. And please don't forget, today's topic of conversation is, I want to know, are you happy with me to lease the silage making equipment? And because it's all being used for a one-off, we're not going to be using it again after today's silage. Are you happy for me to lease it all rather than buy it so that we can afford to do it now? Or would you rather I did some more jobs off screen and bought the whole lot? This is quite an important discussion for today. I really do need to know what your opinions are on it. So don't just say yes, buy it, or no, don't buy it. I would like to know, I'd like to sort of hear your reasoned arguments. And I will say that I do read all the comments, and so I do take into account the yes, buy it, or no, or whatever it is that we're talking about at the time. But reasoned arguments are much more likely to win me over than just a simple yes or no. So if you can give me good reasons as to why you think I should lease, or why you think I shouldn't lease and I should buy it, you know, whatever those reasons might be, if you've taken the time to present your argument to me, I will pay it a lot more attention than I will a simple yes or no. That's just the way I am. I like debating, I like discussing things, I like to hear people's opinions and points of views, and I like to know why people think those things. That is always something that I've done. So your opinions are important to me, but above all, I would like to know why you're going for whatever it is you're going for. Anyway, that is all I've got time for today. So if you've enjoyed this episode, please head down below and give us a like, and if you really enjoyed it, please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.